Paldea Evolved is almost here, and today we look at Fire-type Pokemon. Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And so let's go ahead and get looking at these Fire-type Pokemon. Again, I am using the Justin Basil website, which they have a very good artwork shown up here, and some translations here for us. And again, today I am looking at Fire-type Pokemon. Tomorrow I will be looking at Water-type, and then Electric, and so on and so forth. Going in the tattoo order. So, let's see what Fire-types has in store for us. And first off, we have Paldean Tauros. This is a Fire-type Tauros, which I think is interesting. I didn't know Tauros came Fire-type until I saw the TCG card, which was pretty cool. And I do think there is some synergy here with the other Tauros, and I think there's some fun deck ideas you can do with these Tauros. I don't know if they have all the tools they need, but having some sort of box-type deck with all these Tauros just sounds like a lot of fun. So we have the Paldean Tauros Fire-type for 2 colorless energy, Fury Horn, 20 damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Now there is a tool card coming in this set that gives basic Pokemon 50 more HP, so you could have a total of 17 damage counters, and that could be that would end up being math. 190 damage coming from this Tauros, and that is a good chunk of damage. It's going to be difficult to get that much damage counters on there, and risky since you're using a tool to increase. They might play something to remove that tool, and you get KO'd mid-turn sort of business. So I do like it. I like the variety that these Tauros have with different typings, but I'm not 100% sure if a deck can be made. I'll be trying, but we'll see. And then we've got Blaze Dash, 120 damage for 3 energy. Discard 1 energy from this Pokemon. I'm not too concerned about discarding 1 energy. That seems like a reasonable price, but 120 damage doesn't seem high enough to be important enough, if that makes any sense. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong, but hitting Fire Weakness doesn't seem like the best deal currently. It might become a pretty good deal later on, but right now I'm just not sold on it. So that was Paldean Tauros. And then we've got a Stage 1 and Stage 2. The basic is probably a colorless type, so we'll see that later. Probably not too important for this discussion, but we'll find out in like a week. Fletchinder, Stage 1, single energy, 50 damage, but also does 10 damage to itself. The 10 damage, kind of too bad, but that 50 damage is actually pretty good for a Stage 1, I think. And so, yeah, that's not a bad Stage 1 attack. Also, single energy. That's pretty good as well. A Talonflame, Stage 2, 150 HP, 2 single energy attacks. Again, low energy is pretty good. We've got Clutch, 50 damage. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, which would help keep this, defending Pokemon in the active so you can hit it again. I do like that attack. Wind Rage. Almost said wage. Wind Rage, 70 plus. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 90 more damage. So that 10 damage that Fletchinder would do to itself, Talonflame can benefit from that. That sounds like a pretty good match. 160 damage is also pretty good for a single energy. So Talonflame looks like it could be a lot of fun, but I've said that about a lot of Talonflames in the past, and not very many have been that great. So we'll have to test around that and see. If you are interested in Talonflame, let me know down in the comments. Litleo, single energy, burn down, discard a stadium in play. Might be important, but there's other ways to discard stadiums, mostly by playing your own stadium. And then the second attack, 1 energy, fire energy, 10 damage. Not a lot of damage there. Maybe the Pyroar can save this. Pyroar, Stage 1 with 120 HP. Single energy, Singe. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Burned's not bad, but not great. 2 colorless energy, Overrun, 60 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. It just seems like a weaker version of Jumpluff. And Jumpluff, we have a way to get it into play as fast as a stage 1, and I like it more. So Pyroar, I'm not loving it right now. Less damage on the bench, more energy requirement. You do have more HP, but that can also hurt it at times. So, at least I think you have more HP. Oricorio. With the ability Passionate Dance, once during your turn, heal 20 damage from your active evolution Pokemon. Oh, so your active Pokemon has to be an evolution, and then you can heal 20 damage. Now, I do like kind of the design of this to push evolution Pokemon. I prefer when the game relies on heavy evolutions. If you don't remember, I did a EX versus V Pokemon kind of discussion video. Check that out to understand why, but I like the design of that. I just don't think 20 damage is going to be enough to really include this in a lot of decks, unless there's some deck that's based around healing. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for 2 energy, 30 damage is just not good enough, sadly. The 2 energy requirement is okay, but 30 damage is just too little. It's not going to be important at all. And it's really hard to get a basic 2 energy attack going just for it to do 30. So, yeah. Oricorio is going to be a bench sitter anyways for that heal. And the nice thing about this is that you can stack them, it seems. So you can have 4 Oricorio out and heal 80 damage a turn, which could be very important. So, Oricorio, it would take a lot of bench space, but I could see something coming from it. Next up, we've got 2 copies of Fuecoco. Can I? No. Okay. The first one, single energy, 20 damage. Compare that to the Oricorio. For another energy, only 10 more damage. Yeah, there's the issue there. Fuecoco already doing a phenomenal job at that single energy, 20 damage. But that's all that one has. Let's jump down to the next Fuecoco, where a single energy, spacing out, flip a coin, if heads, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. There's some healing there, but I'm not loving it on a basic. A 90 HP basic is going to be very easy to KO. I'm just not seeing that being very useful. And then 2 energy, 30 damage. I would go with the 80 HP one, I think. Unless that 10 HP difference becomes an issue. The 80 HP one, the tackle for 20, is just a little bit stronger. Crocodile, we've got single energy, 30 damage, and 2 energy, 70 damage. Both are fine. I kind of like it. I love the artwork, that's for sure. It chasing a berry is hilarious. I was wondering if it tied into others. Then we have Skeledirge EX, I think that's how you say it. With a single energy attack, 50 damage, heal 30 from each of your Pokemon. I really like that. If you have a few of these in play, you can kind of rotate through them and be healing a lot of damage while doing 50 isn't that high. It's still something. And then 2 energy, 270 damage, which is quite a bit. This attack does 10 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Not exactly a great attack. You can reach a point where you're dealing no damage. Unlikely to get there, although with, Pokemon doing 200 plus damage, I just don't see Burning Voice doing a lot long term, and it being a stage 2 really hurts that effect. I like the healing first attack, but the 50 damage is just too low on that. If it could be bumped up, even if it required an extra energy, doing 100 heal 50, I would be way more interested. That mixed with the Oricorios, you've got some fun healing, stall, dealing decent damage sort of thing. But right now, Skeledirge EX just is not doing it for me. Don't let my bias against fire Pokemon affect your judgment, though. Charcadet has 2 cards as well. The first one, 2 energy, 30 damage. I like that it's kind of energy neutral, because in this set we are getting a psychic evolution of it, and so having it energy neutral allows you to mix and match a little bit better. 30 damage is okay. Charcadet, single energy, 10 damage, 2 energy, 3 energy, 50 damage. The translation only shows 2 energy. 3 energy, 50 damage is a little bit better. The single energy it's just not nearly as good. 10 damage is whatever, but 50 damage is a good amount. And in a worst case scenario, I mean, if you think about it, for 3 energy, you're doing the same amount of damage as Skeletor's EX as a stage 2. This is a basic, not even a stage 1, a basic. So, you know, there's some give and take there. I kind of like the 50 damage, honestly. 3 energy is a lot, but you can make it work, right? And then we have Chi-Yu EX. Single energy, Burning Envy. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So a mill strategy there. Discarding 2 is not great, but, you know, it's a basic, you know. And it's a high HP basic, unlike Durant. Durant is like 90 HP or something like that. Super easy KO. 190 is a little bit harder, but still pretty easy. 2 energy, Flame Surge, 100 damage. Choose up to 3 of your bench Pokemon. For each of these Pokemon, search your deck for a basic fire energy, attach it to that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. I love that. 100 damage, plus you accelerate energy onto 3 Pokemon. That is phenomenal. I absolutely love that. Getting 2 energies on there, not exactly the hardest thing, but it's super easy to KO for most meta Pokemon currently. And, yeah, I like the energy acceleration, though. I really, really do. That is a lot of energy acceleration. You attach 2 and you get 3 back. And if it survives another turn, you get 3 more. That is some really good energy acceleration. You see plenty of energy acceleration where it's like, attach 1 energy, you accelerate to 1 of your bench Pokemon. And that's really all that Pokemon there to do. You're gaining 1 for 1. It's not nearly as good of a trade as 3 for 2, if, you know, in my opinion. Anyways, those are all the fire Pokemon. Oh, you can't see the art there. Sorry. There you go. Tomorrow we will look at the water type Pokemon. And there's some pretty good ones in there, I know, from pre-release that have really messed me up, and I messed others with it. So I'm really excited to dive into the water Pokemon. But what do you think of the fire Pokemon? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all of these Paldea Evolved set review sort of videos I'm going to be doing. Tomorrow's water, you want us to be subscribed so you see that video as soon as possible. And then join the Discord so we can have more like one-on-one interactions and talk and maybe set up some games to play. I've played a few games with some people on the Discord. A lot of fun. Let's do that, you know, so jump into the Discord as well. And of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.